country that really affects the economic underpinning of a country, brings down economic confidence, etc. If there's something like that, the minority of the group said that if it's severe, if the consequences are severe, then the fact that there was no destruction of property or injury to individuals doesn't matter. That's good enough. We left this to the policymakers to decide the way they're going to treat it. My personal view is I think the current law is damage, destruction, injury, or death. And I don't think that will be the current law 10 years from now. I'm absolutely convinced the law will shift to the severity standard. But I'm sort of a classic international lawyer. I think you need some state practice before that happens, and so forth. Okay, another area that we struggled with was state responsibility. We looked to the Articles of State Responsibility put out by the International Law Commission, and the commentary that's been published by James Crawford at Cambridge has our guidance. And basically, there are three situations. This is very important law because in the cyber environment, it will often be the case that you don't have a state actor conducting the operations, but they have outsourced, encouraged. You're reading about this now with regard to China and hacktivist groups and patriotic hackers and so forth. So it's critically important to get your arms around when is an operation going to be a use of force by virtue of the law of state responsibility. In other words, the United States Army doesn't conduct it, but somehow America is responsible, and so international law will treat America as having done the act themselves. These are the rules we basically came up with. There are three situations. One is where organs of the state do it. This is classic. If the CIA, if the United States Air Force, United States Navy conducts an operation, clearly there is state responsibility. And clearly, even if the individuals conduct the operations beyond the scope of their actual duties, like you have the renegade hacker at US Cybercom, I mean, these people are scary to start with, you know, and so he starts doing stuff. Listen, if he's at Cybercom headquarters and he's doing this, America's responsible. The second situation is where you're empowered by law to engage in classic government functions, like conducting cyber defense or conducting cyber offensive operations. You could do this through a contractor who is given by law the authority. Perhaps a better example than the one I have up here is in Estonia, there is a militia, a volunteer militia that's responsible for defense of the state. They run the state's CERT, which is basically emergency response for the country in the face of a cyber attack. These are all volunteers, but under Estonian law, they are responsible for conducting operations to defend the state's cyber infrastructure against external attack. In such a case, Estonia would be responsible. And then the third case is very important today. That's where you have a group that, even though they're not empowered by law to act, nevertheless, they're